Thank you very much. You may please be seated. Thank you. So today we congratulate all new members joining the prestigious Chartered Institute of Directors, which is Nigeria's most prestigious governing body for directors in Nigeria and even beyond. It's my honor to acknowledge distinguished members of the Presidium and Governing Council of the CIoD. And with us today is our chief host. Yes, technology. And with us today is our chief host, the president and chairman of the Governing Council of the CIoD. Please, can we put our hands together for Otumba Adetunji Oyebanji, FCIOD. Thank you very much. Your presence today, of course, signifies strength. And of course, I'd like to recognize the presence of our first vice president, Mrs. Amina Oyagbola, FCIOD. Thank you very much for joining us today, ma'am. I'd like to recognize the presence of the second vice president and the host of this ceremony, who is also the chairman of the Membership and Branch Development Committee of the CIoD. Please, let's put our hands together for the man who's invited us today and welcoming us very warmly, Alhaji Lamis Diko, FCIOD. Thank you. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the elders and, of course, the immediate past president of the Chartered Institute of Directors, who's joining us online, Alhaji Tijani Mborodo, DFCIOD. Please, let's put our hands together for him. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the elders and past presidents of the CIoD that are present here. And yes, that is, I'd like to recognize the presence of Dr. E.J. Jidenma, Distinguished Fellow of the CIoD, an immediate past president, not the immediate, past president of the CIoD. Thank you. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of members of the Governing Council that are present here with us. Yes, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Prince Abimbola Olashure, FCIOD. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Mrs. Abimbola Wright, FCIOD. And very specially, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our special guest speaker today. He wields so much influence in the legal space in Nigeria and beyond that. Of course, I'd like to very specially implore you to put your hands together as we appreciate Professor Koinsola Ajayi, SAN. Welcome, sir. And partner Olaniwun Ajayi, LP, one of Nigeria's foremost legal minds. Thank you very much, sir, and we warmly welcome you. Of course, I'd like to recognize the presence of the Director General and CEO of the Chartered Institute of Directors, Dr. Taiwo Nolas Alausa. Please, let's put our hands together properly for the DG, please. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I would like us to really, truly appreciate the very special people in this room today. Everyone, the new inductees of the CIoD. Those that are not clapping are jealous. Thank you very much. You are the reason we have all gathered today, and we truly celebrate you and welcome you to this great and noble institution that represents governance, ethical business practices, and upholds the biggest standards that holds the boardroom in corporate Nigeria, public-private sector. Thank you so much. Now, as we move on very quickly to this event, I can't but acknowledge the fact that this event used to hold in the evenings. Before, I've been tempted to say good evening a few times, but I had to just correct myself to say it's morning today. And it just shows that at the CIoD, we're constantly evolving. understanding our audience, the market, and making necessary changes to better serve and better preserve the values that we hold. Please, can we put our hands together again for the leadership of the CIoD, for making this very, very impactful change, and particularly the members of the Committee on Branch Development and new members. Thank you. Okay, so that I can get seated. Please, I'd like us to appreciate and put our hands together for a member of the Governing Council here with us today, Mrs. Fatumata Koka, FCIOD. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're welcome, ma'am. You're welcome. Okay, so we'll get right into today's discussion. And I'd like to invite to the stage, of course, to give us the welcome address, the President and Chairman of the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Directors. Please put your hands together as we welcome our President, your President, Otumba Adetunji Oyebanji, FCIOD. Let the applaud keep going until he gets here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our compere. Like you, I'm almost, I wanted to start by saying good evening, everybody. So I'll correct myself immediately to say good morning, everybody. Yeah, all heartily welcome to this event today. The first Vice President of CIoD, Mrs. Amina Oyagbola, FCIOD, our host, and second Vice President of CIoD and Chairman of the Membership and Branch Development Committee, Alhaji Lamis Diko, FCIoD, distinguished past President, Ms. Dr. Jidema, members of the Governing Council here present, our distinguished guest speaker, Professor Koyin Ajayi, SAN, FCIA, partner, Olaniwun Ajayi. I will say a bit more about him later. The Director General, CEO of CIoD, Dr. Taiwo Nola Salausa, MCIOD, fellows, members of the Chartered Institute of Directors, our distinguished inductees, our sponsors and partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure on behalf of the Governing Council and the entire membership of the Chartered Institute of Directors, Nigeria, to warmly welcome you to this new members' induction ceremony. Today marks a significant milestone in the professional journey of our inductees. Having successfully completed the Company Direction Course 1 and fulfilled the requirements for membership, you will now join Nigeria's foremost professional body dedicated to promoting excellence in directorship, corporate governance, and ethical leadership. I congratulate each of you on this important achievement. Today's induction is far more than conferment of membership. It is an acceptance of the responsibility to lead with integrity, exercise independent judgment, and contribute meaningfully to building resilient institutions that create sustainable value for shareholders, stakeholders, and the society. The theme of today's ceremony, the Director Mandate, Governing for Value and Resilience, aptly reflects the realities of contemporary governance. Across the world, boards are navigating an increasingly complex environment shaped by technological disruption, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity risks, sustainability imperatives, geopolitical uncertainty, and evolving stakeholder expectations. In this environment, governance is no longer simply about compliance. It is about providing strategic leadership, anticipating risks, strengthening institutional resilience, and ensuring that organizations remain relevant, competitive, and sustainable. The quality of leadership in the boardroom has become one of the defining factors of organizational success. This is the mandate entrusted to every director. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Chartered Institute of Directors remains steadfast in its mission of developing directors who lead with competence, integrity, and purpose. Through executive education, professional certification, research, policy advocacy, and strategic partnerships, the Institute continues to advance governance standards across both public and private sectors while contributing to national development. Our commitment extends beyond this induction ceremony. We provide members with continuous professional development through advanced governance programs, board leadership courses, governance masterclasses, and specialized training covering emerging areas such as enterprise risk governance, sustainability, digital transformation, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, board effectiveness, and ethical leadership. Many of these programs have an option to attend virtually, as we are aware of your busy schedules. Recognizing the importance of board independence, the Institute established the Independent Non-Executive Directors Register, providing organizations with access to experienced and qualified independent directors who can strengthen governance, improve board effectiveness, and enhance long-term organizational performance. It is important to note that you need to enroll for our Independent Directors Masterclass to be enlisted in our INED register. In the last few weeks, some of our members on the INED register have joined the boards of some of Nigeria's major corporate entities. I think I can remember Mrs. Ronke Shokunbi, who joined the board of Commercial Partners, and most recently, I think last week, if I'm not mistaken, Mrs. Taba Peterside also joined the board of Renaissance Africa. So we will keep this going and keep the flag flying. We are equally investing in future of governance through Young Directors Forum, which develops emerging executives and professionals into the next generation of responsible board leaders through mentorship, executive learning, and professional networking. Together, these initiatives reflect our belief that great organizations are built by great boards, and great boards are led by directors who embrace lifelong learning. Now, I wish to extend a very special welcome to our distinguished guest speaker, Professor Koyin Ajayi. I did say I would make a few comments. Sometimes I'm a bit confused about how to refer to him, whether it's professor, whether it's reverend, whether it's senior advocate. But I think we've jointly concluded that we will settle on the title of in-law. And that is because I think my family somehow went across to his family, and as we say in local parlance, we saw a flower and we picked the flower. A senior advocate of Nigeria, professor of banking law, accomplished arbitrator, and one of Africa's foremost authorities on corporate governance and commercial law, with over 4 decades of distinguished experience spanning litigation, arbitration, banking, capital markets, infrastructure, and boardroom leadership. He has served on the boards of leading institutions and made significant contributions to legal scholarship, public policy, and corporate governance in Nigeria and across Africa. We are honored by his presence and privileged to have him share his wealth of knowledge and insight on today's theme, the Director Mandate Governing for Value and Resilience. To our new members today marks the beginning of an enduring professional journey. Membership of the Chartered Institute of Directors is both a privilege and a responsibility. You are now ambassadors of an institution whose reputation rests on professionalism, integrity, accountability, and service. Your organizations will rely on your judgment. Your stakeholders will depend on your stewardship. Your leadership will influence organizational culture, strengthen public trust, and contribute to national economic development. I therefore encourage you to remain committed to continuous learning, participate in the Institute's activities, contribute to our branches, sectoral groups, and support our advocacy for stronger governance standards across Nigeria. The sectoral groups, in particular, offer our members the opportunity to avail the Institute of their wealth of experience. May I also add that we know people join institutes like ours for various reasons, including, to be honest, some just to be able to sign accounts, some because of the opportunities of being, executive directors or non-executive directors. But even where you do not have the time, if you look around the room, you will see there are some people who have sponsored us, and some of those are members of the Institute. So if you cannot find the time, please, you can also find the time with your pockets too. We are not averse to support for all our activities. As directors, always remember that leadership is not defined by position, but by responsibility. Governance is not measured by compliance alone, but by the value it creates. And the true legacy of every director lies in the strength and sustainability of the institutions that we leave behind. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to express my sincere appreciation to our second Vice President and Chairman of the Membership and Branch Development Committee, Alhaji Lamis S. Diko, FCIOD, members of the Governing Council, our distinguished guest speaker again, fellows and members of the Institute, our partners, sponsors, and the management and staff of the Chartered Institute of Directors for their dedication in making today's ceremony possible. To our newly inducted members, again, I congratulate you once again and warmly welcome you into this prestigious professional community. I'd also like to point out to you that if you go either to the Google Store or the Play Store, you will find that CIoD has an app. You can download this app, and through that, you are constantly updated about our activities, and you can interact with the Secretariat. So finally, may your membership inspire you to lead with wisdom, govern with courage, and uphold the highest standards of integrity and professionalism in every sphere of your influence. Together, let us contribute to strengthening governance in Nigeria, build resilient institutions, and create sustainable value for Nigeria and for future generations. Thank you very much for your attention, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Please, can we show some appreciation to the President and the Chairman of the CIoD Governing Council. In case you did not notice, when he was reading his speech, he mentioned some specific names. That means he's looking out for each and every one of us. His eyes are on you. So tell the green wristband wearing member beside you that his eyes are on you. He's very low. He's monitoring. Thank you. Okay, just a quick one before I call up the next speaker and the next item on our agenda. I wanted to remind us of a quick song. The song goes, "On your mandate we shall stand." You know that, right? Exactly. Today, every new inductee, we are standing on your mandate. Please, can you look to the person sitting next to you and ask them, one word, tell them to describe to you one word that a director's mandate means. One word. You're not looking, look to the person. Say, what is that one word? Describe it. A director's mandate in one word. What would that be? I cannot hear. I'm hearing governance. I'm hearing stewardship. Am I hearing excellence? What's the word? Accountability. Okay, we're getting there. Excellent. So today, the theme for this induction, this July 2026 induction, is the director's mandate, governing for value and resilience. And one of the clearest expression of the mandate is understanding the legal frameworks, that guard this landscape, the regulatory landscape that every director must critically navigate. And who is best to deliver on this than our guest speaker today? Of course, we all know that governance does not exist in vacuum. Every business exists within a society, within rules and regulations and the rest. I heard accountability from the audience and a few other words. So today, our guest speaker this morning has spent decades at the intersection of law, governance, and institutional leadership, not just in Nigeria, but I believe across Africa. And as a senior advocate and partner at Olaniun Ajayi, I will not reference the in-law part or the reverend part. I will just skip that. We'll focus on that. So, is one of Nigeria's finest and most distinguished legal practitioners. Please, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, can we put our hands together as we welcome the Professor Koinsola Ajayi, SAN. Please keep the applause going.
My in-law, I stand on your protocol, and I do so. I pick particularly because I should tell you something. When he came to marry my sister, he was not as prosperous as he is now. Neither was he as big, and he did not have any gold chains around him. So I've sent a message home that we're coming for our sister, except he sends us some gold bars. So let me start by thanking the President and the Council for the great opportunity giving me to be able to address this most august gathering this morning. And let me begin by being contrarian. I don't know why Adida Adejokon says what is important to me is a professor and not being a reverend, when indeed that is really why I'm standing before you. Because she said, you should use words that to describe who you are. And she said, steward. And that's what, that's what my ministry is all about. So it's about stewardship. But let me just digress a bit and begin to focus a bit more about the theme of this event. Starting first with congratulating everyone that is going to be inducted into this most distinguished institute. But I'd like you to know something, that today is not simply another professional milestone in your lives. It's not another opportunity as a stepping stone to becoming a director, which is what some of us pursue. It is the assumption of solemn trust. For a directorship is not merely, ladies and gentlemen, an office. It is, as Adejokun said, stewardship, it's governance. But in going forward, let me say that there is a simple philosophy that I think encapsulates what I think you should be focused on. And this is from, dealing with directorship for over 4 decades. And I think the first and highest duty of a director is not simply to make the company successful, because that was the theory. Go to people like Milton Friedman. They'll tell you that, and theoretically, as a lawyer, the company was formed for the purpose of making profit. If you're a limited liability company, you must make a profit. If you're limited, you cannot make money. But things have changed, and things have moved beyond that, because truly your duty is to ensure the survival of the entity of which you're a director. to ensure that it adapts, as the president said, and is resilient in order that it can create value long even after you have left office. Every other responsibility that you have and that you learn about, strategy, finance, risk management, technology, sustainability, compliance, governance, all of these things are directed to only one thing, which is institutionalization of the entity of which you are director. So I'd like to say something else, and this reminds me of what I call institutional immortality. So Adejo, can you see why being a priest is important? Institutional immortality. So I'm going to be switching from being a priest and a lawyer. And so as a lawyer, the theory behind the creation of the corporation is that God only created man as a person. But the law then created another person, which is the company. But the difference between what God has created is that we're mortal. But what we men have created is supposed to be immortal. And hence the concept of institutional immortality, of companies that are built to last, not just for your tenure or just after it, but to go on and on. Now, it may be difficult to imagine a more appropriate theme at this time, speaking about immortality, when we're living through one of the most profound periods of disruption in modern history. Artificial intelligence in transforming business models, as indeed our lives. Geopolitical tensions are reshaping trade and investment, as we all can tell. Climate events are affecting corporate strategy. Cybersecurity has become a boardroom concern. Regulation is becoming ever more intense and demanding. Stakeholder expectations are rising. Markets are changing with breathtaking speed. The question before directors, therefore, no longer is simply, how do we make the company successful? The more important question is, how do we build companies that continue to succeed? So it's not how is this company successful in my watch. How do I live here and the numbers improved? But how do I build an institution that continues to succeed? Put in other words, how do you build an institution that survives? And survival is, as the president said, resilience and adaptability. And this brings to my mind some of the greater ideas of science. We all know of Darwin's theory of evolution, which teaches us that something that extends beyond biology is the only thing that survives. Now, throughout history, survival has seldom belonged to the strongest or even the most intelligent. Survival has not belonged to the strongest or the most intelligent. It has belonged to those that are able to adapt to changing circumstances. Organizations, therefore, rarely disappear because they lack resources or capable people. More often than not, they disappear because they fail to recognize that the world around them has changed. And no better example than the gentleman that is looking at me from Dangote. I like speaking about Dangotification of Africa. And we all, those of us that are old enough in business would know that there was Tate and Lye at the time. That was the sugar brand. And there was WAPCO, that was the cement brand. Well, we still have WAPCO in the form of Lafarge, but as a fraction of itself. But we don't have Tate and Lye again, as we do not have Dunlop in Nigeria again. And so the point really, therefore, is to let us know that you are strong and that your results are good today is not of importance if you want to be a director of reckoning. And I know that you have decided to be inducted to this institute, not because you cannot be a director, because some of you already are, but because you want to be a director that has come from an institute that lasts and is out to make sure that things last. And so, important that not just flourishing while you are there, but that you create a legacy that would ensure that long after you are there, people would say, you passed through the walls of this institution. Now, one of the greatest misconceptions about directorship is that it is about supervision of management. Yes, you do that. You must supervise management. You must ensure strategy is well implemented. But that's not all that the office requires of you. You know, as human beings, as I said, we are mortal, we come, we go, but institutions stay. And if you want to be a director, it must mean that you want to be part of what will be enduring, part of what will be relevant despite whatever the market throws at the economy. And so we must make sure we are part of a company that will serve successive generations. And that, I keep saying, is why you must take what you're doing seriously. You must behave not just as custodians of the ethos of the business. You must behave as owners of the business, even if you are an independent, non-executive director, because you would learn if you do not know. That's independent, non-executive director means there are no strings attached, you have no connections, and you're absolutely independent and objective. But think of it like this. Judges are supposed to be the most independent of people in our country. It's supposed to be fair, unbiased, and so on. But they're human beings that live in society. And the truth of the matter is that every judge is dependent on his circumstance, is dependent on society. The judgments that you read is a reflection of what justice means in that society. And therefore, as an independent non-executive director, you must own the enterprise. Because if you not own the enterprise, your decisions would not be truly independent in terms of being impartial, in terms of being fair, and in terms of ensuring that this institution survives. Let me move on very quickly. That we must understand, as I said, that this is not about improving results. It's important. The Institute of Directors, company secretary, management consultants, and so on and so forth will send forms around every year to assess you and to see what the numbers are like and to see whether the company has improved under your watch. And you're marked on that basis. And maybe the institute has data to show that you're a great director, and when there's time to appoint someone to a bigger company, you are recommended or not recommended because of the marks you got. But please don't be concerned about that. Be concerned more about what you really do to make sure that this institution is resilient and that it will last. You must think about tomorrow, because you all know that we live today, tomorrow, and we live tomorrow, today. We live tomorrow, today, and we live today, tomorrow. And so it's important that you must always be forward-thinking. You must always play it forward as directors. You must always be dreamers. You must always be architects. You must always be builders. And I guess you may say, how can I be these three things combined? You must be an architect. You must dream so that you can assist in creating the vision for the firm, for the business, that ensures that it is capturing not just the circumstance of today, but what is to come tomorrow. You must be able to envision that. And so that when the managing director, executive directors come, or consultants come, you can be part of the formation of that vision. And beyond then just sketching this, you need to then go on to be able to build it. Because what is dreamt and that cannot have legs and that cannot be scaled would not work. And so It's important that you then must be able to put bolts and nuts to that dream to make sure that this institution survives and is truly resilient to meet the circumstances of the time. And hence, President spoke about learnings on cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and so on and so forth, and all those many things that are really beginning to change our lives. Let me move quickly to trust, which is the foundation on which institutions survive. Trust. You must be a person of trust. You must be trusted by the institution. Now know this, those that have appointed you, trust your judgment, and that is why you have been appointed. You may be appointed because you have money, you may be appointed because they want you to add to capital, but at the end of the day, your capital will become to naught if the trust that is reposed in you as a director does not come to play in the decision making. And guess what? If you are not trusted, your co-directors will not act in a manner that is trustworthy, because trust works as building blocks. Now, your trust is therefore important to make sure you earn my trust so that I can trust you in decision making, so that I can trust you in confiding in you, so that I can trust you that the things that you tell me are good are things that I can rely upon. Now, as directors in the company, various competencies are brought to bear. Now, it may not be your competence as a specialist in your chosen field. It may be your competence because of your experience. It may be your competence because of some other vocation that you have. Now, so you're bringing that to the table. And you're coming to the table not as a banker, because you're expert in banking, but as a person who is a public speaker and who has connections and is able to ferret out of the market opportunities that are coming. So this is why trust is very important, and it is that which should make sure that there's survival in the business. Let me conclude, because I was warned by the man who owns Lagos State Secretariat. You own the Secretariat, don't you? So, you know, he owns the Secretariat, he has a lot of money, but so that you don't try, he then changed his name and made a double-barreled name. But it's really Alausa, the gentleman there, and that is why he's the only one wearing a cravat here today. Rich men do that in the morning. So let me conclude. Mr. President, council members, ladies and gentlemen, inductees, every director borrows a board seat. Every director borrows a board seat, even if you created the company, because the company will live longer than you, except you have formed your company just to serve your interests and not even your children. No director owns his board seat. We inherit institutions from those who came before us, and especially those of you that are new inductees. We hold them in trust for those who will come after us, even for those that are already directors. The true measure of our stewardship is therefore not the condition in which we found the institution, it is a condition in which we live it. Years from now, no one will remember how many board meetings you attended, because these days there's a register that ticks whether you attended or not. Few will remember the resolutions that were passed on your account. Fewer still will remember the quarterly results achieved during your time. Fewer will remember the quarterly results achieved during your time. Dr. Tunde Koka, what was the results of the quarter 4 2 years ago? See, he doesn't remember. So I told you. So you see, we don't even remember. But people will remember whether the institution became stronger because you served. People will remember whether the institution became better because you served. And there are even examples of these things today. We have managing directors, executive directors, general managers, drivers, and cleaners that people remember long after they are gone. Whether it is because you're innovative, or because you're the most trusted, or because you've been the most resilient, or because you become the most valuable, or because you become more relevant, you must build a legacy in what you're doing. Legacy for the institution, not the office that you hold. You must be determined to strengthen the institution that you have come into. Ladies and gentlemen, directorship is not about managing the present. It's about preserving the future. It's about ensuring the institutions continue to create opportunity, employment, prosperity, and hope long after we ourselves have departed. Govern, therefore, not merely for today's profits, but for tomorrow's prosperity. Not merely for the generation of shareholders that you serve today, but for the generation of stakeholders to come. Not merely for success, but for endurance. Because in the end, the greatest legacy of a director is not the wealth created during his tenure, but the institution that continues to flourish because of his stewardship. This is governing for value. This is building resilience. This, Madam Adedayo, is the mandate of the director. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much. I think it deserves a standing ovation. That was accurately delivered. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. The greatest legacy of the director is not what you leave there today, but is what speaks for you much, much after you're gone. So many things I took down myself. Thank you very much, Professor, Reverend. I may add that now, boldly so. Yes, Coinsola Ajayi, SA, and thank you very much, sir, for those very wise words. They're very profound and thoughtful. I took some notes, and I bet that every inductee here, and even well-wishers friends, also took notes and took actionable steps. So if you could look to the person sitting next to you, another quick assignment, ask them, how will you be remembered? That is starting with the end in mind. I know some of us think it's too early. It's too early to be asking, I'm just joining. I am just starting. But it's never too early. Starting with the end in mind helps to cast a great vision. How will you be remembered? Have they told you? Or they're still thinking about it? Okay, looks like some of us are still thinking about it. Thank you. Okay, so we'll move on very quickly to our next item, which will be a presentation on the Chartered Institute of Directors, Nigeria. As the president spoke earlier during his welcome address, he had highlighted some amazing, incredible activities lined up and, for the directors, for development, for networking, just building a truly prestigious and formidable institution that upholds standards across boardrooms, private or public sector. And so to take us further in detail on what we do here at the CIoD and a number of other activities that we have lined up the rest of the year, and as the institution continues to thrive and remain institutionally immortal. I took that down. Please let's welcome the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the CIoD for the presentation on the Chartered Institute of Directors. He's been called the owner of Lagos for a reason. Dr. Taiwo Nolas Alausa. Please, can we put our hands together for him? In case you don't know that you're in Lagos. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. President, good morning. I'm permitted to stand on the existing protocols. But I also want to present and this permission because the protocol is very old. But I still want to recognize distinguished members of council here. And also past presidents, future past presidents, those who are present and those who are on. Well, coincidentally, when I was just doing my maths, I discovered that exactly 40 years we chatted. That was in 2023. The organization was formed in the year 1983, and in the year 2023 was chartered, that is recognized by the Act of Parliament. And ladies and gentlemen, we are the Charter of Directors. We are recognized locally and globally for our leading role in corporate governance. We are a respected professional body and voice in national and international forums. To use the President's word, we are the apex professional body in Nigeria today. We are also members of two distinguished bodies globally. One is the African Corporate Governance Network, and the other one, the Global Network of Directors International. So we belong to these bodies, and we are very active participants in the two bodies, in which distinguished members like you, when you come on board, we also participate in those global bodies. Our mission is to be a leading world-class professional institute, consistently promoting best corporate governance practices, director development, and advocacy.
Our mission to build capacity of directors to be competent and committed professionals through well-developed programs, mentoring schemes, sound ethical practices, and enrich public policy through advocacy. Our core values, what I can call our own mandate. We call it impact. Integrity, we start for integrity, meritocracy, professionalism, accountability and probity, customer centricity, and teamwork. Impact. Our past presidents, our first president was late Chief Anofie Gubadia, DFCIOD, and also second by late Mrs. Olutoyin Olakunrin. That was our second past president, and until we now our 19th president, Otuba Adetujo Yebanji. Like I said, we have in present and online both our 17th and 18th president, Dr. E.J. Jidema and Alhaji Tijani Bodo, who is joining us online. Our governing council consists of a 30-member governing council, 3 past presidents, 12 elected members of council, representatives of the Ministry of Trade, because we are chartered, so they also, the federal government, have representatives on our council, and also because of the fact that we have the voice of the professional bodies in Nigeria, so we have the government who listens to us. They are also part of the council. We have members from the Federal Ministry of Trade, a representative from the Ministry of Trade and Investment, a representative from the Federal Ministry of Education, the Security and Exchange Commission, the Corporate Affairs Commission, and of course, the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, and also to a minister from the academia. We have a professor in our midst. Just like the first VP has said, we hope that one day Professor Ajaitu will be a member of the council member. I hope the director of membership is taking notes, so you can give him his membership form. So the council also consists of the chairs of our branches, my humble self, and of course our honorary legal advisor and honorary treasurer. We have standing committees in the council. I think about 14 standing committees within the council. But most importantly, we have sectorial groups, 15 sectorial groups. So when you talk about networking, that is where you'll be expected to be. And I think each member is expected to belong to 3 sectorial groups of your choice. Maybe I'll briefly just read out some of the sectorial groups for interest. Tourism and hospitality, transport and logistics group, insurance group, professional services group, health and social services group, the women's group, one of our main vibrant groups. And I look for all the women. I think there's even a proposal that automatically every woman should be in the women's group. But they are a very vibrant group. We just concluded our women's conference 2 weeks ago at the National Arts Theatre. But in case you need the clips, and also part of the resolution of that conference is available. The public sector group, our energy group, our oil and gas group, is also a very vibrant group. I think about a month ago we visited the Dangote refinery.
with the oil and gas group, our financial services group, and several groups, our information technology group too, very, very vibrant, in which they actually helped in solidifying our alliance with the Ministry of Communications, with also the Nigerian Data Protection Council and others like that. So we have very vibrant groups. The objectives of CIoD. Sorry, can you please project the objectives? One is to improve the professional competence of its members as company directors, business and public sector leaders in Nigeria. And how do you do that? Through training. Manpower development. We run lots of different trainings across the globe, not just in Nigeria. And both locally and internationally, both online and on-site. In fact, most of our international trainings are also tailored to suit the seasons. For example, it's going to be summertime, and we have trainings in both the United Kingdom, in Manchester and London, and in Canada during this summer. So we also have trainings in Kigali, Kenya, and both Kigali and Kenya, and likewise others like that. Then we have so many director development trainings within the country. Also, to provide an active forum and advocacy platform for its members in public affairs. We are very, very strong in that. We speak for you all in different sectorial groups that you are. We speak for you. So you have a very active advocacy team where there is a director of advocacy. And of course, too, we will come out with different communiques from time to time on different issues within our polity. And also send these resolutions to the government also. This year at the annual directors conference, we'll be coming out with a compendium of 10 years of our compendium of all our communiques at the annual directors conference. Also, to formulate ethic codes and standards, encourage ethical leadership and good governance by directors on boards. This we also do in the Assistant of Security and Exchange Commission. We are on board of Security and Exchange Commission, the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, whereby we contribute as much as possible to formulate codes, ethical codes for the country. To enable, educate, and empower its members regarding their legal and fiduciary duties and responsibilities as directors on boards and to society. This we do from time to time. During forums like this, we try as much as possible to remind you all of your duties. Also to build the competencies and knowledge of its members through sponsored seminars, courses of study, conferences, visits, and tours within and outside Nigeria. Some of these things I've already stated. Our objectives: to monitor and make input into relevant legislation passing through the National Assembly, where possible to ensure that basic commercial expectations, freedoms, and rights are preserved. For this alone, we have an assistant director of advocacy in Abuja that sits with the National Assembly on policy formulation. This is something we do. We have an assistant director there, and likewise too, we have a branch in Abuja that also participates in this. To encourage, promote, and coordinate research into relevant subjects and publish or sponsor the publication of journals and articles in Nigeria. I think if you go outside there, we still have copies of the Directors Magazine, which we publish every quarter. We have a Directors Magazine where you see different topics that are related to your fields. And likewise, we have other publications too. To establish branches of CIoD Nigeria in suitable locations to carry out its objectives. Currently, we have 4 branches in Lagos, Abuja, Abeokuta, and Kano. We just opened the Kano branch. And I'm delighted that those who came for our last public policy training in Lagos, who came from Kano actually, we had a lot of them from Kano. Our code of ethics. Okay, I think I'll skip that because we've mentioned that. But let me talk about the membership categories which we have. The Chartered Director, which is coming up very soon. We have a Chartered Director coming up. Is our main certification exam, and thanks to the President. We hope to unveil the Chartered Directorship next month, by God's grace. We also have the Honorary Fellow, the Member, which hopefully most of us will be today, a Distinguished Fellow, also the Fellow, and an Associate of the Institute, depending on our category. Our programs, we have several programs. Some of them I mentioned earlier about our international women's conference, our fellows luncheon for our fellows investiture, which is coming up later in the year. Members evening, we usually have a very robust members evening. We had one recently, and I'm sure one is coming up very soon again. We also have a forum we call it Young Directors Forum, which is expected for cadres or mid-level managers, senior managers, or directors. When we say young directors, we mean people who are just coming newly into business. They may not necessarily be young, they are old, but we have a forum for them that takes care of them. So we have a program for them too. Our Women Directors Luncheon. Our advocacy programs on leadership, corporate governance, and ethics, several advocacy programs. Some we did last year, and our numerous local and international programs, which I've also explained. CIoD Nigeria Annual Directors Conference, which is coming up. Let me also say this. The Annual Directors Conference this year is taking place in this same venue, the Grand Ballroom, on the 10th and 11th of November. And for that, you don't need to pay. Because as new members, you've already paid. So let me use the opportunity to invite you to the Annual Directors Conference. It's an international conference whereby there are several speakers across the globe that will be attending. CIoD Nigeria Annual Directors Dinner will be coming up in November, where we'll be inviting you to network with different directors across the country. That's coming up in December. And of course, we just had our health walk and health talk 2 weeks ago, Work for Life here, and that is expected to take place too annually. And several other programs. See, let me be honest with you. In CIoD, something is always happening. We're always having one program or the other. Why? Because we always want to justify why you are members. We always want to give something back to you. Thank you. You're welcome, and I look forward to having you all. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you very much, DG and CEO of the CIoD. A lot is definitely happening at the CIoD, and you cannot afford to not be part of it. So, and this is the community that you are joining. This is our mandate. This is our reach. This is all that we're doing here at the CIoD. So it's been decades in the making, and we're committed to growth, your growth, and we are stronger by every person in this room. So thank you for making the decision to be part of this formidable community. Now, I'd like to very quickly move us forward on the agenda for today. Just to correct, I know that many of you saw dinner on the program of events. It's not dinner, it is lunch. You're not going to be here till late in the evening. So I just thought to point that out in case some of you are canceling your evening plans. It is lunch, and you will be having lunch very shortly. But before lunch, I'd like to invite up stage to administer one of the most critical moments, the build-up that we've been packing and stacking up since morning that we got here. We're going to be taking the oath of induction, which will be administered by the first vice president of the Chartered Institute of Directors, a woman of strength, power, and caliber. As she makes her way up stage, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Adeyinka Hassan, who is a member of the Governing Council. Welcome, sir. FCIOD, welcome, sir. But this is the high point in today's event, and I implore you to actively participate. If you're online, please remember to be part of this. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Adedayo. Please, let's give her a round of applause for doing such a great job for us always. Thank you so much. Mr. President and Chairman of Council, distinguished members of the Governing Council, distinguished past presidents here present and online, and of course, distinguished directors and inductees. Let me lend my voice to the congratulations. Permit me to stand on the existing protocols that have already been clearly established. A very warm good afternoon to everybody. And let me also lend my voice to thank Professor Koinsola Ajayi, who is my learned friend at the bar, apart from being my own brother as well. Thank you so much for that very concise, very erudite, very pointed lecture that you gave us this morning. Food for thought, I believe, for all of us. And I think that what I took away was your last sentence, you know, the legacy. What are you gonna be remembered for? What's going to be your greatest legacy? Which is what he said as a director. Are you going to create value? Are you going to create prosperity? Are you going to institutionalize? And are you going to strengthen the institutions that you are serving on borrowed time? That was also very, very powerful. Thank you very much. My task this morning is to take us all through the affirmation process. We take induction into this prestigious institute, the Chartered Institute of Directors, very seriously. So in line with that premise, permit me to ask all inductees to kindly be upstanding. And if you are online, you may stand or sit. We will not know the difference. But I would like to ask you, if you are online, to put on your videos so that we can see you and we can feel like you're in the room with us. And I would like us to take this affirmation in unison. So if you don't mind, please try and repeat after me. But the first line, I'm going to say I, and then you mention your name. And then we continue from there, and you just repeat the words that I utter. So I affirm that I will adhere rules, regulations, and bylaws Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria
Chartered Institute of Directors of Nigeria.
I will at all times maintain a high level of integrity, ethical standards, and enterprise. I will strive to enhance the principle of governance in all my dealings. Not do anything bring the name institute into disrepute. Not be found guilty. Any criminal act, criminal proceedings of fraud, manipulation, insider trading, similar offense, any crime whatsoever, a law. Received a copy. Chartered Institute of Directors for members of the Institute. Have read and I understand its contents. Agree to adhere to principles and policies contained in the code. Have also read understand CIoD interest policy, its contents, agree to comply with its provisions, recuse myself, operations, voting on contracts, transactions, activities, or arrangements whatsoever could give rise to interest. I will immediately notify as soon as practicable the events described above occurs subsequent to joining the Institute, the term of my CIoD Nigeria membership. I will ensure active participation, at least one elected CIoD group, and make positive contributions to the development of the Institute. So help me God. Signed and dated. Please, so congratulations. So when you're being called up, you'll be asked to bring a copy of this slip and hand it over to the Secretariat. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
If the person beside you is not congratulating you, just ask them. If they're from your village. Congratulations. You've taken a bold step. Welcome. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The first Vice President of the Chartered Institute of Directors, Mrs. Aminat Oyagbola, FCIOD. And again, congratulations to everyone online and in the room. Every new member inducted today, you've paid the price, you've heard the charge, and your commitment remains. So thank you again, and welcome to the CIoD. I'd like to quickly acknowledge some of our sponsors for today. We'll be hearing from them. Our sponsors for this event, as the President spoke earlier, okay, please can we settle down? I know the ushers are going around. But we'd like to quickly extend sincere and profound appreciation to sponsors of today's event. That is the brands that have put their brand, their presence, and their finance behind this formidable institution. First Bank, Wema Board, M.I. Okoro and Associate Estate Surveyor and Valuers, Union Bank, Quest Merchant Bank, Pokhara Sweat, Pernod Ricard, Nigeria, and LBSL. We'd like to say thank you to all of you for putting your weight and support behind the CIoD. Now, we will take a quick response on behalf of the inductees. Every induction, of course, needs a voice from within the class. And I believe that we have someone who is going to do that. And the gentleman that has been appointed this responsibility today is someone who works in reshaping what is possible within the Nigerian industry. Our guest speaker had earlier referenced the Dangotification of Africa. I think that was the word. Yes, so today we have with us the CEO of Dangote Petroleum Refinery, who is being inducted today as well. He leads one of the most consequential industrial operations on the continent, I dare say. So today, please, is joining the Institute as a member, and we are happy to have him as the voice of this class. Please put your hands together as we welcome, for a response on behalf of the inductees, Mr. David Bird. Thank you.
Is this working? Yes. Good afternoon. President, Chairman, Vice President, First Vice President, Second Vice President, Professor, and MDC or DGCO. But if you'll indulge me to stand on existing protocols, thank you. Distinguished guests, welcome. What a joyful occasion. I am humbled to be speaking on behalf of my fellow inductees For those I haven't met, I look forward to networking as we now start our journey in this distinguished family of the Institute of Directors. What a privilege the induction has been. The sessions have been enriching, practical, and timely. We've been exposed to the global best practices in corporate governance, leadership, and board effectiveness. The Institute has not only equipped us with frameworks and tools, but has also challenged us to think more strategically about ethics, accountability, and value creation. For this investment in our professional development, we are truly grateful. What a privilege. However, with great privilege comes great obligation. So on behalf of all the inductees, I hope I speak on behalf of everyone here today that we reaffirm our collective commitment to applying the lessons and best practices gained to improve performance and contribute to the growth of our respective organisations. We go from this hall not just as certificate holders, but as ambassadors of good governance, and we commit to upholding the highest integrity, the highest standards of integrity, to entrench sound board practices, and to drive sustainable value, as the professor said, sustainable value in the organisations we lead. The knowledge that we have received today will translate into better decisions, stronger institutions, and have a positive, sustainable impact in Nigeria and indeed the continent and globally. So finally, we appreciate the opportunity, extend our best wishes for continued collaboration between the Institute and all stakeholders. We thank the Council, the faculty, the Secretariat, our guest speakers, and everyone who worked behind the scenes to make this induction a success. We also congratulate our fellow inductees. This is the beginning of a new responsibility. And as the professor reminded us, typically when we get reminded of our mortality, it can be quite depressing, but being reminded of our mortality by the professor, I felt inspired and strengthened in my resolve and the beginning of this new responsibility that we look forward to the continued engagement with the Chartered Institute of Directors as we grow in our leadership journey. Distinguished guests, once again, thank you for your time, your guidance, and most importantly, your commitment to raising the bar for corporate governance. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much. Mr. David Bird, CEO, Dangote Petroleum Refineries. Thank you. So I will invite you all at this time for lunch, not dinner. So please note that lunch is plated. So you have the service guys who are around you to take your order and of course attend to your needs. Lunch is made possible by our sponsors. We'd acknowledged them earlier: First Bank, Union Bank, Pocari Sweat, Pernod Ricard Nigeria, LBSL, MI Okoro and Associate Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Wema Board. We appreciate all of you. Thank you. Your brand can be here at the next induction only if you approve of it. So please be part of this great opportunity. So today we will, as we go through the lunch, I would also like us to fix our eyes on the screen as the media would play some of our event activities and programs happening in the course of the remaining part of the year at the CIoD. So please, let's pay attention as we do that. I would also like to invite upstage, if he's ready and if he's not at lunch already, the representative of Quest Merchant Bank, that is the head corporate banking, Abayomi Bolade, who has a word or two for us as one of our key sponsors today. Abayomi Bolade, are you with us and are you able to take your time now? Oh, that's good. Great. So right after Mr. Bolade is done, media, you may just continue to reel out our adverts and promotions. Thank you. And the lunch is time for you to network, for you to have a quick chat, for you to have a quick chat and make the most of this gathering. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Mr. President. Please permit me to stand on existing protocols. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all new inductees into the CIoD and wish you all the best as you navigate your governance journeys onwards. My name is Abayami Bolade. I head the corporate banking division at Quest Merchant Bank. And we're very, very proud sponsors of the CIoD. I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce Quest Merchant Bank to some of us who may not, know the brand. Quest Merchant Bank used to be FBN Quest, and we used to be part of the First Bank family until very recently when FBN Holdings decided to divest its stake. Now we have new shareholders who are equally as strong as the FBN group. And also, to that extent, have new leadership across the board of directors and also even with existing management. And also we've raised additional capital now, met the CBN guideline for recapitalization. And so we continue to provide tailor-made, advisory services, financing services, and, very strong partnership with existing and future clientele base. I would like to implore all directors that as you navigate your several governance journeys, across the organizations you represent, that you remember Quest Merchant Bank as a trusted advisor to reach out to when you need to make those very, very difficult, decisions, especially respect to your future. Thank you very much, CIoD, for the opportunity, and look forward to many more engagements with, the directors as well. All the best.
Thank you very much, Quest Merchant Bank, and congratulations on your rebranding and transition. So, media, you have the floor. Please kindly continue to reel out our videos.
2026 CIoD Nigeria Annual Directors Conference. Because the future belongs to boards that are ready to lead. CIoD Nigeria. Excellence. Governance. Impact. The world isn't waiting. Technology is rewriting industries. Economies are shifting. Leadership is being redefined. The question is no longer will change come? The question is, will your board be ready? This November, Nigeria's most influential directors, board chairs, CEOs, policymakers, governance professionals, and business leaders will gather for one defining conversation: reimagining the boardroom for inclusive and sustainable national prosperity in the new economy, where ideas become strategy and strategy shapes the future. The future won't be decided tomorrow. It will be shaped by those who show up today. Join us at the 2026 CIoD Nigeria Annual Directors Conference, because the future belongs to boards that are ready to lead. CIoD Nigeria. Excellence. Governance. Impact. The world isn't waiting. Technology is rewriting industries. Economies are shifting. Leadership is being redefined. The question is no longer will change come? The question is, will your board be ready? This November, Nigeria's most influential directors, board chairs, CEOs, policymakers, governance professionals, and business leaders will gather for one defining conversation: reimagining the boardroom for for inclusive and sustainable national prosperity in the new economy, where ideas become strategy and strategy shapes the future. The future won't be decided tomorrow. It will be shaped by those who show up today. Join us at the 2026 CIoD Nigeria Annual Directors Conference, because the future belongs to boards that are ready to lead. CIoD Nigeria, excellence, governance, impact.
The world isn't waiting. Technology is rewriting industries. Economies are shifting. Leadership is being redefined. The question is no longer will change come? The question is, will your board be ready? This November, Nigeria's most influential directors, board chairs, CEOs, policymakers, governance professionals, and business leaders will gather for one defining conversation: reimagining the boardroom for inclusive and sustainable national prosperity in the new economy, where ideas become strategy and strategy shapes the future. The future won't be decided tomorrow. It will be shaped by those who show up today. Join us at the 2026 CIoD Nigeria Annual Directors Conference, because the future belongs to boards that are ready to lead. CIoD Nigeria, excellence, governance, impact.
You have spent years building your career. You have earned promotions, led teams, delivered results, and made your voice count. But there is one more room where your leadership belongs. The boardroom, not simply to occupy a seat, but to influence strategy, shape decisions, and protect value. Because today's boardroom demands more than experience. It demands governance expertise, strategic thinking, financial insight, digital fluency, and the confidence to lead in an AI-driven world. That's why CIoD Nigeria created the Board Ready Women Capacity Development Program, a practical transformational experience designed to prepare exceptional women for board leadership. If you're ready to move from executive leadership to boardroom excellence, this is your moment. Over 4 months, you will gain practical boardroom experience, learn from seasoned governance experts, and develop the skills, credibility, and visibility needed for board appointment. Your experience has brought you this far. Now, let the boardroom discover what you are capable of. Register today. Contact Theresa on 0803-282-5038 or Patience on 0903-669-4601. CIoD Nigeria. Excellence, governance, impact.
The world isn't waiting. Technology is rewriting industries. Economies are shifting. Leadership is being redefined. The question is no longer will change come? The question is, will your board be ready? This November, Nigeria's most influential directors, board chairs, CEOs, policymakers, governance professionals, and business leaders will gather for one defining conversation: reimagining the boardroom for inclusive and sustainable national prosperity in the new economy, where ideas become strategy and strategy shapes the future. The future won't be decided tomorrow. It will be shaped by those who show up today. Join us at the 2026 CIoD Nigeria Annual Directors Conference, because the future belongs to boards that are ready to lead. CIoD Nigeria, excellence, governance, impact.
In today's fast-moving world, staying connected is no longer optional. Introducing the CIoD Nigeria app, Your institute, now in your hands. Access programs, your membership subscriptions, stay updated in real time, and engage with a powerful network of directors, all from one place. Whether you're in the boardroom, on the move, or between meetings, you're always connected. Simple, seamless, built for today's leader. Designed for everyday's governance. This is more than an app. It's a smarter way to stay informed, engaged, and ahead. Download the CIoD app today.
Attention please. All passengers attending the Executive Leadership and Board Governance Summit are now invited to proceed for boarding.
Some journeys begin with a passport. Others begin with a decision, because today's boardroom has no borders. The leaders shaping tomorrow don't wait for change, they prepare for it. They learn beyond familiar walls, they challenge ideas, build global connections, and return with perspectives that transform organizations. This year, London, United Kingdom, 18th to 21st August 2026. Join the program and strengthen your strategic oversight, board leadership, and governance excellence. Canada, 8th to 11th September 2026. Experience where directors and C-suite executives gain global insights and practical governance strategies for greater impact. Kigali, Rwanda, 13th to 16th October 2026. Explore leading a forward-looking board, the chair, the CEO, and leadership responsibility, and discover how stronger chair-CEO partnerships drive organizational success. 3 destinations, 3 transformational experiences, 1 commitment to building globally minded leaders and world-class boards. Your next flight could change more than your location. It could change your leadership. CIoD Nigeria International Executive Programs. The world is waiting.
Okay, so we'll proceed to a critical part of today's event, which is the certificate presentation. And to take us through that process, I would like to invite the Director of Membership at the CIoD, Membership and Branch Development of the CIoD, Mr. Kenneth Wanigo, MCIoD, who's going to take us through that process. Before Mr. Kenneth takes the mic, I'd like to again reiterate, as you make your way to the stage, please remember to come with the affirmation form. You must have executed that, signed it, attested, detach it from the brochure or the event program, and come along with it. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, distinguished members of the Governing Council, newly inducted members, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. We have now come to a defining moment in today's ceremony, the formal presentation of certificates to our newly inducted members of the Institute. This presentation signifies not just admission into the Chartered Institute of Directors, Nigeria, but the beginning of a lifelong commitment to professional excellence, ethical leadership, and sound corporate governance. As members of CIoD, you are now ambassadors of the Institute's values. And we encourage you to take full advantage of the opportunities that are available to you. We encourage you to participate, just as the President said, in our learning and capacity development programs. Engage with your branches and the sectoral groups. Contribute to our communities. Build professional, meaningful relationships, and continually invest in your development as directors and business leaders. The value of your membership will be determined not by what you receive from the Institute, but also by the contributions that you make to its growth and to the organizations and communities that you serve. We cannot wait to see the impact that you would make as directors, and we look forward to working with you to advance excellence in directorship and corporate governance in Nigeria. To commence the process of the presentation of certificates, may I respectfully invite the President and the Chairman of the Governing Council, who is our chief host for today, Mr. President, to please come on stage. The first Vice President, Mrs. Amina Oyabola. Our host for today, the Chairman of the Membership and the Brand Development Committee, who also plays a dual role as the second Vice President of the Institute. And also, our Director General and the Chief Executive Officer of the Institute, Dr. Taiwo Nola Salausa. Please do come on stage to receive our newly inducted members. As our company has said, we're going to be calling out your names in batches of 10. When we do call out, we please kindly request that you proceed in an orderly and swift fashion. To my right-hand side, where you will be receiving the certificates, and then be seated, after which you will then be ushered on stage one by one to shake hands with the Presidium. On that note, I will start with the first batch. Please pay attention to your names. Mr. Kende Sheun Ogundare, if you're here, please do come out. Please do come along with your signed affirmation sheet, which you will hand over to my team, who will be waiting to receive you and present you with your certificate. Mr. Kende Sheun Ogundare, Mr. Olabode Moses Omosagba, Mrs. Obiageli Benedette Ora, Mr. Victor Ame, Architect Uchechi Yvonne Olivia Bobbiway, Mrs. Perita Kezia Kimeng, Mrs. Chedu Okeleke, Mrs. Ijoma Uchechi Uju, Mrs. Grace Oki Omo Lame, Mr. Anthony Amawe, and Mr. David Bird. If you've heard your names, please do come out to receive your certificates and then be ushered on stage one by one to shake hands with the Presidium.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, madam.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, so we'll proceed to the next batch. Mrs. Balogun Tadeni, please do come out. Dr. Barry Olabisi Roberts. Mr. Peter Omoroge. Mrs. Chikamadu Jennifer Onyewuchi. Mr. Olusegun Banwo. Ms. Ogale Onwusa. Mr. Olasukomi Oluseyi Adeke. Mrs. Fumilayo Adenike Fidi. Mr. Olu Hector Forbaje. Ms. Ediri Voke Hubo. And Mr. Adewale Oreale. Mr. Adewale Oreade. To our distinguished inductees, please do note that after the presentation of certificates, we're going to be having a group picture with the members of the Presidium. So please, would you kindly request that you stay behind till the conclusion of the presentation of certificates to take a group picture with the Presidium. Thank you. For the next batch, we have Mrs. Olubukola Titilola Konkwo. Please do come out. Dr. Boluwaji Onabolu. Mr. Adeniji Oni. Ambassador Jaja Samuel. Dr. Onefeli Linda Ojugo. Mr. Idou Olanipekun Oguntona. Mrs. Kofo Warrior Olasimbo Awonuga. Mrs. Ijoma Tobechi Emezie Ezigbo. Miss Adedoyin Jayesimi. And lastly, Mrs. Abolanle Abosede Mateloko. Please do recall, if you're coming out, you come out with your signed information sheet, which you will present to my team there to receive your certificates. And do remember, distinguished members, that we'll be taking a group picture at the end of presentation of certificates session. Okay, so the next batch, can we just reduce the, thank you. Dr. Chukwemeka Clement Onyeka, Mrs. Yewande Sembor, I hope I got that right, I do apologize. Mr. Bashir Adeboye, Mr. Oluwaseun Joshua Agbebi, Miss Ifeoluwa Ayode, Mrs. Rafat Mohammed, Mr. Sunday Adebola Omoniwa, Mrs. Ibiemi Okuneye, Mr. Adewale Olatubosun Adedeji, and Mrs. Temilola Olamide Adepetu. For the next batch, Mr. Pedler Alexander Kofi, Dr. Anthony Iwenya, Engineer Adebowale Debo Fagbami, Dr. Adiola Oluwakemi Ogunyemi, Miss Obehi Constance Ojega, Miss Obehi Constance Ojega, Mrs. Ebere Naola Okwara Zibi, Okwara Bizie, Barrister Ude John Ali, Engineer Gregory Osage Ahibi, Miss Faith Abakada, Mr. Olufemi Ayeni. The names again: Mr. Pedler Alexander Kofi, Dr. Okoma Anthony Iwenya, Engineer Adebowale Debo Fagbemi, Dr. Adiola Oluwakemi Ogunyemi, Ms. Obehi Constance Ojega, Mrs. Ebere Naola Okwara Bizie, Barrister Ude John Ali, Engineer Gregory Osage Akibi, Ms. Faith Abakada, Mr. Olufemi Ayeni. Please do come out with your signed affirmation sheets to receive your certificates and shake hands with the members of the Presidium. Thank you. Right, for the next batch, Dr. Nelson Walter Nelson, Mr. Olajiga Afolabi Emmanuel, Miss Matilda Ortega Ohuotu, Miss Utibe Hussein Udo, Dr. Precious Adeloye, Mr. Joshua Adeshola Ademiwagun, Mr. Chike Kanayo Ekweme, Barrister Mrs. Oluyemi Moremi Lawal Daki, Mr. Adetola Adewale Akinsuliria, and Mrs. Chimnonso Azazi. Again, Dr. Nelson Walter Nelson, Mr. Olajiga Afolabi Emmanuel, Ms. Matilda Ortega Owotu, Ms. Utibe Hussein Udo, Dr. Precious Adeloye, Mr. Joshua Adeshola Ademowagun, Mr. Chike Kanayo Kweme, Pastor Mrs. Oluyemi Moremi Lawal Daki, Mr. Adetola Adewale Akisolire, and Mrs. Chimnonso Azazi. Please do remember, as I stated earlier, that we're going to be having a group photograph at the end of the presentation of certificates. So do appeal to all of our newly inducted members to please tarry, stay a bit while, just stay for a while until we conclude the presentation of certificates, so that you can have a group picture with the members of the Presidium. Thank you. Mr. Kweme Kanayo, please, can you come out? Sorry, can we turn down? Thank you. The next batch, Mr. Michael Folusho Daudu, Dr. Chigozie Dingba, Mrs. Olufunto Ayafe Iboye, Mrs. Ogonna Ifeyinwa Ofo Arabweze, Engineer Oladipo Olarewaju, Dr. Olajide Abayomi Olufuyi, Mr. Damilare Samuel Oshokoya, Mr. Idris Sidi, Dr. Lucas Ayokunle Durojaye. I'll call out the names again. Mr. Michael Fosho Daudu, Dr. Chigozie Dingba, Mrs. Olufunto Ayafe Iboye, Mrs. Ogonna Ifeyinwa Ofo Arabweze, Engineer Oladipo Olarewaju, Dr. Olajide Abayomi Olufuyi, Mr. Damilare Samuel Oshokoya, Mr. Idris Sidi, Dr. Lucas Ayokunle Durojaye. Again, please do come out with your signed information sheets to ensure that you collect your certificates. Thank you. Again, just to remind all of our newly inducted directors, members, the largest gathering of directors, our flagship conference, the annual directors conference, will be holding on the 10th and the 11th of November 2026 at this same location, the Grand Ballroom. By virtue of your induction and registration, you have paid for your attendance at this year's edition of our 2026 Annual Directors Conference. You will just be required to just register to confirm your attendance. So please do ensure that you're available at the Annual Directors Conference this year. Thank you. For the next batch, Mr. Demola Ayotunde Abidogun, Mr. Enoch Olukemi Agbona, Mrs. Tosin Akingbade, Mr. Osuji Alberto, Miss Mrs. Balogun, Anuwalapo Balogun, Mr. Chris Nkecho Bidoku, Mr. Elvis Ani Chinda, Mrs. Ifoma Henrietta Abidoye, Mr. Puri Divakar, Miss Origo Mosin Sophie Ejegi. Call out the names again. Mr. Debola Ayotunde Abidogun, Mr. Enoch Olukemi Agbona, Mrs. Tosin Akingbade, Mr. Osuji Alberto, Ms. Anuwalapo Balogun, Mr. Chris Nkecho Bidoku, Mr. Elvis Ani Chinda, Ms. Ifoma Henrietta Abidoye, Mr. Puri Dikava, and Ms. Origo Masin Sophie Ejegi. Okay, for the next batch, Mrs. Okore Ihioma, Mrs. Mojola Adeshegun, Mrs. Mojola Adeshegun, Mrs. Chia Ganam Obiageli, Virginia, Pharmacist Emmanuel Ikechukwu Onyoka, Dr. Samson Oyebode Oyetunde, Dr. Ranjendran Sadavizam, Mr. Odeme Okon Udo, Mr. Uchenna Chika Achunene, Mr. Adebowale Samuel Adeniyi, and Mr. Suleiman Danjuma Isa. Again, Mrs. Okore Ihoma, Mrs. Mojola Olua Adeshegun, Mrs. Chiaganam Obiageli, Virginia, Pharmacist Emmanuel Ikechukwu Onyoka, Dr. Samson Oyebode Oyetunde, Dr. Ranjendan Sadafizam, Mr. Odeme Okon Udo, Mr. Uchenna Chika Achunene, Mr. Adebowale Samuel Adeniyi, and Mr. Suleiman Danjuma Isa. Mrs. Umoibom MM, Engineer Mrs. Chichi Emenike, Mrs. Rianat Adedoyin Hassan, Mr. Caleb Izedomi, Engineer Madatil Madu, Engineer Precious Agege Mudiaga, Mr. Effiong Okwong, Mrs. Olumerelukun, Taiwo Runsewe, Ms. Ebila Chinelo Ugoma, and Mr. Patrick Umona. Again, Mrs. Umobem MM, Engineer Mrs. Chichi Emenike, Mrs. Renat Adedoyin Hassan, Mr. Caleb Izedomi, Engineer Madatil Madu, Engineer Precious Agege Mudiaga, Mr. Effiong Okwong, Mrs. Taiwo Rusewe, Ms. Ebila Chinelo Ugoma, and Mr. Patrick Omona. Mr. Uche Oge Chukuka Emmanuel, Mrs. Debbie Oluyinka Daramola, Dr. Elizabeth Kingswali, Mrs. Sotonye Bediba Waboku, Dr. Isioma Elora Ona, Mrs. Adebayo Oluwatosin Dorcas, Dr. Omojuwa Okiye Elizabeth, Mr. Thomas Michael Abiodun, Mr. Abimbola Oluyinka Oguntunde, and Dr. Benson Chidi Oyeboeke. Again, Mr. Uche Ogechukwuma Emmanuel, Mrs. Debbie Oluyinka Daramola, Dr. Elizabeth Kingswali, Mrs. Sotonye Bedima Waboku, Dr. Isioma Elora Ona, Mrs. Adebayo Oluwatosin Dorcas, Dr. Mojuwa Oki Elizabeth, Mr. Thomas Michael Abiodun, Mr. Abimbola Oluyinka Oguntunde, and Dr. Benson Chidi Oyeboeke. Okay. Hello. Thank you. Dr. Olagoke Olubukola Iola. Mr. Peter Nosa Obegbo. Mr. Tolulope Olatunji. Engineer Olawale James Olatunji. Engineer Abubakar Sadiq Yahya. Mr. Onya Oyekachi. Ms. Chidima Onyechi Obi. Dr. Uchenna James Okafo. Mrs. Adedayo Mary Oladeji Akpan Blessing. Ms. Ajegbo Chinedu. David Mojisola Tope. I'll call out the names again. Dr. Olagoke Olubukola Iola. Mr. Peter Nosa Ogbebo. Mr. Tolulope Olatunji. Engineer Olawale James Olatunji. Engineer Abubakar Sadiq Yahaya. Mr. Onya Oyekachi. Ms. Chidima Onyechi Obi. Dr. Uchenna James Okafo. Mrs. Adedayo Mary Oladeji. Akpan Blessing. Ms. Ajegbu Chinedu and David Mojisola Tope. If you're a newly inducted member and you're physically present at this location and you've not heard your name, please indicate so that we can arrange for my team to present you with your certificate. If you're a newly inducted member, you're physically present and you're yet to hear your name, please do proceed to my right-hand side to collect your certificate. Thank you. Olawale James. Engineer Olawale James. Engineer Olawale James Olatunji, can you please come out to collect your certificate if you're here? Engineer Olawale James Olatunji. Okay, there are distinguished members. That concludes the presentation of the certificates. I'd like to thank Mr. President and distinguished members of the Presidium for receiving and shaking hands with the Presidium. We're going to be proceeding very swiftly to the group picture, after which we will then take the vote of thanks. Oh, I do apologize. We are supposed to be taking the vote of thanks quickly.
Okay, I think we should just take the picture since they're already standing. Again, congratulations to all newly inducted members of the Chartered Institute of Directors. Please, if you were just inducted today, kindly make your way to the stage for the group photograph. Please make your way to the stage. You can stand, you can take the stage, you can take the seat. If there are additional seats left in front there, ladies, you can take the seat. But everyone else, you can stand behind. You can use the stage. You can also use the stage. If you're down to earth, you can use the stage. If you're tall enough, you can stand. Please, thank you. And yes, please, thank you. Microphone, Sarita. Media. Ay, ay, ay. Hello. Thank you. Please use the stage. Use the stage. You can stand on the stage, please. Okay. Okay, so we have a brilliant idea. We can do it in 2 batches. So you can just, if you know you're on the flank, please, you can just move back. If you're standing and you're not in full capture. If you're not on stage or you are hidden, you can just step back and we will take it in 2 batches. Thank you. Thank you. There's something missing, your smiles. Welcome to the CIoD family. Thank you very much. Batch 2, if you know you did not smile, maybe you want to do a retake. But batch 2, please. Batch 2, please. And quick announcement, if you paid for the photo book, please note to wait behind and see Tolu. We have Tolu from the membership team. Tolu is here. Tolu, wave your hand. So Tolu is here. We have special photo session curated for you. So please wait behind after the vote of thanks to have your feel of photos and then finalize your photo book. And if you did not, you can also still join. Photo book, please wait behind and see Tolu. Batch 2, are we ready? Can you have your smiles on? A big grin on your face. Welcome to the CIoD family. Director, you should be here. Countdown, 1, 2, 3, go. Big smile. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you, everyone. Yes, you can now stand. Thank you. And again, a big thank you to the Governing Council, led by the chairman and the president of the Chartered Institute of Directors, the first and second vice presidents. We want to say thank you. Of course, I'd like to invite the assistant directors. We're not done. Please, one last item before we make our way out of here. I'd like to invite up stage the assistant director, membership and branch development, Mrs. Kemi Parker, to take the vote of thanks. Thank you. And to those online, thank you for being part of this.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. The President and Chairman of Council, Otuba Adetunji Oyebanji, FCIOD. The First Vice President, Mrs. Amina Oyagbola, FCIOD. Our host, Alhaji Lamis S. Diko, Second Vice President and Chairman, Membership and Branch Development Committee. Past President and Elders of the CIoD. Members of the Governing Council present. Our distinguished guest speaker, Professor Konyisola Ajayi, SAN, Director General, CEO of the CIoD, Dr. Taiwo Nolas Alausa, MCIOD, fellows and members of the Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria, our distinguished inductees, our sponsors and partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As we draw today's induction program to a close, it is my singular honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the Governing Council, Management and Secretariat of the Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria. First and foremost, I express our profound appreciation to our President and Chairman of Council, Otuba Adetunji Oyebanji, FCIOD, for his unwavering commitment to strengthening corporate governance and for his visionary leadership. To our distinguished guest speaker, Professor Konyisola Ajayi, thank you for generously sharing your knowledge, insight, and practical experiences. Your invaluable contributions have provided our new members with a strong foundation as they begin their journey with the Institute. We wish to express our sincere gratitude to our esteemed sponsors and partners, whose generous support has contributed significantly to the success of today's program. Namely, Panod Richard, Quest Merchant Bank, we say thank you. Sovereign Insurance PLC, M.I. Okoro and Associates, we say thank you. Union Bank of Nigeria, Dumbbell Insurance, African Limited, SKID, BMO Adversaries, and First Bank Nigeria PLC. We say a big thank you to all of you. I also wish to acknowledge and appreciate our second Vice President, Alhaji Lamis Diko, for leading the membership committee to bring about the splendid induction ceremony. Alhaji, we say thank you. I thank the entire Secretariat who worked diligently to ensure the successful execution of today's event. Your dedication and professionalism have not gone unnoticed. To our newly inducted inductees, if you're here, say woo! To our newly inducted inductees, I congratulate you once again. Please, let's congratulate ourselves. Today marks not just your formal admission into the institute, but the beginning of a lifting, lifelong commitment to professionalism, ethical leadership, continuous learning, and excellence in corporate governance. We are delighted to welcome you into the CIoD Nigeria family. Welcome to yourselves. I want you to welcome each and everyone. Welcome to CIoD Nigeria. And we look forward to your active participation in the Institute's program and initiatives. I am also pleased to remind all our newly inducted members, our inductees, I want our ears to be on ground. Kindly note that by virtue of your registration and induction today, your participation fee for the 2026 Annual Directors Conference, scheduled to hold 10th and 11th November 2026, here in this same Oriental Hotel, has already been paid for. You will only be required to complete your registration form and attend the program. So we look forward to welcome you to what promises to be another enriching and impactful conference. Finally, to everyone who honored our invitation with your presence, thank you for taking the time to be part of this important milestones in the life of our new members. On behalf of the Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria, I wish you all safe travels to your various destinations. And we look forward to seeing you again at our forthcoming programs, and particularly at the 2026 Annual Directors Conference in November. Thank you. God bless you all. God bless Chartered Institute of Directors, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Parker. Media, can we please, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, can we please stand at attention as we take the Nigerian national anthem as we bring today's gathering to a close. Thank you. Thank you very much, and do have a splendid rest of day. Congratulations and thank you. To everyone online, thank you for staying true. You are no less inducted today. You were also fully inducted. Welcome to the CIoD. Welcome to Nigeria's apex institution for board governance and ethical business practice. See you at the annual directors dinner.
Leadership is being redefined. The question is no longer will change come. The question is, will your board be ready? This November, Nigeria's most influential directors, board chairs, CEOs, policymakers, governance professionals, and business leaders will gather for one defining conversation: reimagining the boardroom for inclusive and sustainable national prosperity in the new economy, where ideas become strategy and strategy shapes the future. The future won't be decided tomorrow. It will be shaped by those who show up today. Join us at the 2026 CIoD Nigeria Annual Directors Conference, because the future belongs to boards that are ready to lead. CIoD Nigeria, excellence, governance, impact. The world isn't waiting. Technology is rewriting industries. Economies are shifting. Leadership is being redefined. The question is no longer will change come. The question is, will your board be ready? This November, Nigeria's most influential directors, board chairs, CEOs, policymakers, governance professionals, and business leaders will gather for one defining conversation: reimagining the boardroom for inclusive and sustainable national prosperity in the new economy, where ideas become strategy and strategy shapes the future. The future won't be decided tomorrow. It will be shaped by those who show up today. Join us at the 2026 CIoD Nigeria Annual Directors Conference, because the future belongs to boards that are ready to lead. CIoD Nigeria, excellence, governance, impact.
In today's fast-moving world, staying connected is no longer optional. Introducing the CIoD Nigeria app, your institute, now in your hands. Access programs, your membership subscriptions, stay updated in real time, and engage with a powerful network of directors, all from one place. Whether you're in the boardroom, on the move, or between meetings, you're always connected. Simple, seamless, built for today's leader. Designed for everyday's governance. This is more than an app. It's a smarter way to stay informed, engaged, and ahead. Download the CIoD app today.